Hey, everybody. Happy Freaky Friday. Happy Football Friday. It is time for bold predictions on the podcast daily.
What? Wow. Thank you so much.
Everybody was clearly ready.
Amazing.
Enough.
Please, people, please.
Why is it so long?
Could you not have shortened this clip, Berm?
What clip?
I don't know. That's true. There is a huge amount of appreciation for the king of bold predictions. I'm here. I'm back. Thank you very much to our studio audience. It feels great to be here to make some more bold predictions. That's Jeremy Birmingham and Bill Landis. They're here to try and keep pace with the king, who got off to a pretty slow start last week, I guess, if I have to be honest. Don't think I got any correct. Here's the first bold prediction before I'll let Bill make his point about how terrible I was last week. We had to scrap the original bold predictions this week.
Yeah.
So
thank goodness
my bold
for
prediction
you guys.
is that I know everyone's bold predictions, and this episode will not be anywhere near as bizarre of the one that we lost to technology that was recorded earlier in this week. Berm was crying real tears. It was not eye sweat. There were double ding-dongs for touchdowns.
Wow, we're just unveiling all the secrets.
I just think it's important to tell people the truth, which is that the single weirdest episode of Bold Predictions of all time has been lost.
Yeah, and I think I want to make sure people out there know that when we try to do videos on location in different buildings than we have before, different rooms, sometimes things sound weird. And it's not always easy for us to know that they sound weird until after it's been edited or until I sit down to edit it. And this was one of those instances. And I think in some ways it's actually good, because how many minutes did I spend apologizing at the end of that original recording? Like 4 or 5 minutes?
There were 5 apologies issued for various topics.
It wasn't great. But what was great was me last week predicting that Emeka Egbuka would lead Ohio State in yards, catches, and touchdowns. So I guess the new king has taken the throne. We're in a world right now where
it has been vacated.
Yeah, monarchs are just being replaced in and out of everywhere. So I guess it's only fitting.
Not here.
Oh no, it is here because I've taken over your throne.
Oh my God!
That's why it's your turn to start this week. You have to go first because you don't get to sit back and snipe off of what Bill and I say on bold predictions to make up your own. So you have to go first.
Bill, did you have any shot that you wanted to take at my terrible predictions before we started?
If you're going to tell the people that we're being truthful and peel back the curtain and let them know what happened when we tried to record this the first time, you should also be truthful in your assertions that you're the king of bold predictions when you didn't get a single thing right last week.
Well, you know what? I think if that offensive pass interference hadn't happened, that Cameron Brown would have intercepted that pass. And the blocking was perfectly set up for a return down the right side of the field. And it was going to be an easy pick six for Cameron Brown. So I think I deserve some credit for that. Because I couldn't. Okay, fine. No. I don't. But you know what? I'll get double credit because I'm bringing it back this week. And Cameron Brown playing at an extremely high level, very healthy, very confident, very upset about being interfered with when he had a pick six coming his way. He's going to go snag one against Arkansas State, the Dire Wolves on Saturday afternoon in the Horseshoe. Cameron Brown, pick six, absolutely happening. No question about it. Bold prediction number 1 is in the books.
I want to be clear about something. I love when players are confident. I don't know how Cam can positively assert that had he intercepted a ball at the 15-yard line running the wrong direction.
He didn't say that. I said that.
So you're saying he would have certainly returned it to the house.
He only said he was going to get an interception. I could see into the future from there that his athleticism, his top end speed, he wasn't going to be taken down.
He was running.
He
was running the wrong direction.
So was Emeka Egbuka on the punt return. And guess what? Sometimes you can get your momentum going the other direction.
How many yards did Emeka Egbuka get on the punt return?
Not. Wow.
Negative.
Details.
All right, Bill. We've proven without a shadow of a doubt that Austin doesn't have any idea what the hell he's talking about. So it's your turn to prove that you don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Listen, I can do that all day. Austin's bowl prediction dovetails nicely with my first bowl prediction, which is that Ohio State's defense will have 5 takeaways on Saturday against the Arkansas State Dire Wolves. It felt like last week they did not have any last week, but it really felt like Notre Dame wanted to turn the ball over. Tyler Buchner in particular, it just felt like they kept hitting him in a way where it's like the ball's going to come out weird and someone's going to pick this thing off. It never happened. I think there will be ample opportunity for that to happen on Saturday against former Florida State quarterback James Blackman, who has thrown 30 interceptions over the course of his very long college career. I think he throws a couple to the Buckeyes. I think there's a couple fumble recoveries in there. And this defense, which I think created a good deal of havoc last week without having a turnover, does the same, but gets 5 takeaways on Saturday.
How far have we changed? How far have we come as a group that our first bold predictions are all about defense? Because Ohio State is a defensive juggernaut.
Well, Berm, you might not have heard, but this is a safety-driven defense.
That's the first time hearing of it, but it makes sense. Week 1, Arkansas State beat Grambling State for 58-3. They had 600 yards of offense. They had 6 guys running the ball more than 5 times in the game. So they're diverse. They're trying to mix it up. They're getting a lot of guys in there, keeping legs fresh. That's not going to matter at all on Saturday. And they're going to have less than 100 yards of total offense against the Buckeyes. And I think that we're going to see a defensive performance from Ohio State that people have been waiting for since like 2004. Like something
2004,
something just dominant, something stupid, crazy dominant, where it's like 75 total yards and 3 first downs for the Dire Wolves.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, that's a dire prediction for the Wolves.
That is not a lot of offense.
No, I don't believe in offense. I'm a defense first guy now. In the last 2 days, I've just learned to play Madden defense like crazy. Just no more.
I thought you're done super simming.
No, I'm super simming the offense because who cares?
Completely
about
done.
Offense? Yeah.
Wow.
Don't need it anymore.
Bold.
Throw the offense away. You can score. Buckeyes can outscore Arkansas State with their defense this week. Let me just throw that on top of that bold prediction. A little extra sugar on top there. Buckeyes defense will outscore Arkansas State's offense, and they'll give up less than 100 yards. Take it to the bank.
Because I had an inkling that Berm was going to make me pick first for the show this week.
How'd you get that?
What was that?
And so I really thought about taking all of your predictions from the previous show and then forcing you to make different ones on the fly.
Yeah, a real king would have done that.
Well, I'm a benevolent king. I give to my bold prediction subjects freedom.
You've been a violent king, and now you're out the door. This is a new era.
Oh, my. Okay.
The wordplay is spicy today. Woohoo! Love it.
If you happen to replace the weirdest show ever,
yeah,
we're off to a good start. I've decided not to predict a punt return for a touchdown this week.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to happen. Although I did inquire with Ryan Day on Thursday if Cameron Martinez, since now it's clear that all personnel decisions must be made by the head coach, he has the final veto power over that, he said on Thursday. He would like Cameron Martinez to get some work in this game at punt return, but that he and Parker Fleming will shoulder some of the blame for what happened with the long punts over Emeka Egbuka's head and trying to field the things that were skipping in front of him. They were lining him up. The adventures were not caused by Emeka Egbuka, and he does deserve credit for the way he was able to track the football going over his head and running back 30 yards. Those were actually pretty impressive feats of athleticism. So anyway, I just thought it would be relevant to say that I'm not going to predict that this week. Instead, going to stick on the defensive side of the ball where Jack Sawyer is going to make 2 sacks in this game. He will not play in the second half either. He will not be needed as Ohio State runs through the defensive depth there and relies on some other guys to keep a potential shutout intact. I really am enjoying watching what Ohio State and Jim Knowles are doing with that position. With Jack Sawyer, I think that they should probably come up with a more creative name for it than the guy's first name. Because Chase Young, when
what would you like
Ohio
it to
State
be?
did this,
Because they called the
not-
Chase Young one the Predator, which was just sort of his nickname. So it's not like that was any more creative. But what do
That's
you want?
more creative than like someone's first name.
Okay, but this was named prior to even handing the job to Mr. Sawyer. So I'd like your expertise here, former King. What should they call this position? As you know, they have the adjuster and the bandit and all this other stuff. What do you want this Jack position to be?
The adjuster is such a weird name for a position. Like maybe he should just be the accountant. I don't know. He's the bank teller. I don't know, Berm. Like I didn't come up
Do
with
you like
the
Leo?
adjuster.
Does
Leo
Leo work?
I think is better. But I like when they like Bandit seems really aggressive. Like Leo, I mean, I guess if you're going the lion route, it's fine. Does Jack have an actual nickname?
I don't believe so. Not that I'm aware of. I think that's something we should probably bestow upon him at some point.
You know what? I've got it. There's this term that has been very popular over years past. It plays off of the helmet that Ohio State wears.
Okay.
And that defense has been known as the Silver Bullets. So what if they called this hybrid position, this vaunted, flexible, aggressive, unpredictable spot? It's very violent as well. What if they called it the Bullet?
That doesn't play in 2022.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm out then. Jack Sawyer, 2 sacks.
2 sacks for Jacks.
Double ding dong.
Oh.
For Jack. I kind of want to change my second one because I feel like
So
all
go
we're
ahead.
talking about is defense. No,
There are
I'm
no
not going
rules.
to because
Why not?
it's just easier. It's just easier for me to say the things I have already previously said. I agree.
That's actually
I agree.
harder for me. I don't want to say it again.
I agree with Berm that the defense is going to do some scoring on Saturday night, and I guess I agree with Austin as well. 2 pick sixes for the defense. We'll piggyback off Cameron Brown. We'll give him one. I think the other one goes to Josh Proctor, who is a guy we've talked a lot about this week because he essentially got yanked from the game on Saturday after kind of one mistake. And Lathan Ransom played really well in his place. I'm very curious to see which of those two starts against Arkansas State, but I think both are going to play. I think Josh will probably get a lot of work to maybe make up for the lack of work that he got last week. It'll be a much different setting. I think he'll be a calmer player, maybe not as revved up as he was for Notre Dame, and I think that's part of what led to that mistake. And I think we'll get a reminder of kind of the explosive player that he can be when he's roaming the middle of a defense and snatch one out of the air and bring it back for a touchdown. So 2 pick sixes.
Mm-hmm. So this is where, again, because I feel compelled to like make sure everyone knows where things went wrong on Wednesday when we initially recorded this video. Because I believe bold predictions should be actually bold. I predicted that Reese Stockdale, an Ohio State walk-on wide receiver, will catch 2 touchdown passes.
He's changing it
in this
Bill.
game.
He's changing his mind.
And I am doubling down on that prediction. Reese Stockdale is going to score 2 touchdowns for Ohio State on Saturday against Arkansas State. And I drilled down. And here's why it's important that folks out there know this. America, every practice in the last couple of weeks that we've had the opportunity and the good fortune to see at Ohio State, any glimpse we've seen of the indoor field at Ohio State with guys getting in extra work, Reese Stockdale has been there working with Marvin Harrison on some $50,000 pass ball machine. And I think it's
pass ball machine.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, because the Ohio State offense is so disjointed. They have to just change the name of everything. It's pass ball. It's not even throwing it anymore. It's now pass ball. Reese Stockdale has been out there working with Marvin, and I think it's going to pay off. I think it's in a game like this, I think he's actually going to get more reps at wide receiver than Ohio State will give to their starters in this game, because I think that by the end of the first quarter, the Buckeyes should be up by 4 or 5 touchdowns. And at that juncture, you're going to start to throw in the other guys and get some reps. And I believe that Reese Stockdale, in the event that Ohio State needed an emergency influx of wide receivers, I think he would actually play ahead of all of the current freshmen. And so I think Reese Stockdale, 2 touchdowns.
Why?
I just think he's more game ready, and he's been there longer. And I think he's obviously probably not as physically talented. Were he probably wouldn't be a walk-on at Ohio State as opposed to a scholarship player at this point. But the kid's working his tail off. I think that he's probably got some good rapport with the backup quarterbacks, and they're going to get a lot of run in this game. So dose touchdowns for Reese Stockdale. Dos.
I believe they call that a double ding dong.
A
It's a
dos.
double ding dong where I come from.
Dos.
I'm skeptical of it, as Bill clearly is too, because
Go ahead.
the Buckeyes need to start getting Caleb Burton, Caleb Brown, Keon Gray's involved.
I don't think
they
they
weren't
do,
going to do that.
I don't think
I
so.
also think like Jaden Ballard needs to play.
Is there a fourth person in here?
No, you know, from remember that show Home Improvement where he was like, I don't think so, Tim.
I don't think so, Tim.
I was channeling my inner Al Borland.
I was supposed to realize that you were quoting a 30-year-old sitcom from Tim Allen.
Yes. I was channeling
Cool.
my inner Al Borland.
Cool. I think that seems like a good time for us to take a break on Freaky Friday. We are going to continue with our tradition of looking at some other sports on campus for Ohio State this weekend. And I have a interview here coming with Owen Sullivan, captain of the Ohio State men's soccer team. They play undefeated number 12 Butler on Friday night at Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium. Let's get to it. All right, everybody, as we do every week on the podcast daily for Freaky Friday, we stopped talking about football for a couple minutes because there's a lot of very successful sports going on at Ohio State around campus, not just in the Horseshoe. Friday night, the next one that will be on display in Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium, the men's soccer team. They are 3-0-1. Best start, Owen Sullivan, Buckeyes captain, by the way. He's going to be talking about that right there. Thanks for joining us. Best start since 2010 for this program, Owen. That's got to sound pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, obviously, as a senior here, we've had a first few rough outings for the past few seasons, but yeah, it's definitely good to get started on the first foot forward and on the right setting. So yeah, really excited to just have this good foundation to set up the rest of the season.
All right, so the match on Friday night, 7 p.m. at Jesse Owens, it's against number 12 Butler. Buckeyes are coming into this one, and the streak now, the scoreless streak for this defense is at 309 minutes. I don't say that to put any sort of jinx on you that that's what's going on or to acknowledge a no-hitter, but this team seems to be getting off to that strong start because of what you all are doing defensively.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we talk about shutouts, a lot of the attention goes back to the goalie and like the back line, but I mean, it's a whole team operation, just starting from the forwards, like getting really good pressure. And as soon as we get the pressure from the forwards, the midfielders can follow suit. And again, obviously, Keegan had a huge save against Boy Green, which helped on his PK save. And the defense has been stepping up. But I mean, the pressure from the top helps us a lot. And yeah, I mean, as soon as you can get no goals scored and keep your shutouts, I mean, you're getting a point every game, and that sounds
you
pretty
can't.
good
Yeah,
to me.
you can't lose.
Yeah, we can't lose. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me.
Owen, as you guys went through summer workouts, as you get through training camp and everything, whatever, however you guys called it in August before that first game, was there a sense that this team could get off to the start? Was there confidence in that, uncertainty? How did you guys think that these first four games might play out, or did you have confidence this was exactly what was going to happen?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I think for every season you have to come in with that new. I mean, you got kind of lose a few people from the senior class. You get a lot of new faces in. So obviously every new season, new fall season is kind of a mystery. But I mean, we had a really good ending to our spring season last year, and then the summer workouts got continuously better throughout the summer, and right around the preseason, fall training. I mean, we're firing in pretty good motion, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, you could just tell there's a different energy around the locker room. Everyone's excited. Everyone wants to be here. Everyone's super hungry to get minutes, to score goals. It's a really good atmosphere that we're building here.
Or what about the atmosphere at Jesse Owens? Maybe when the block O gets chanting, gets loud, it makes it a more difficult place for opponents to play. For anyone who's never been there, what could they expect for a game like this? 2 undefeateds and a top 12 team coming to town.
It should be a huge game. Just this year, we added stands behind the goals, and I think it's just really helped to get the fans more involved in the game because they used to be kind of past the track and in the stands. So, I mean, obviously we could hear them, but like this year, they're right on the field, and yeah, they make their presence known.
All right.
Yeah,
they have some favorite chants or some good chants that you like, or what's going on with the block O? I mean, I am a crew season ticket holder and have been for years, so I know what the Nordeca can bring. What does the block go to? What they have a chant for you?
Not yet. Hopefully, maybe I'll earn one.
Okay.
But no, I mean, a lot of it's just like, again, getting rowdy, especially when we get next to goal. They have a corner kick chant that's pretty well known to the players. And then yeah, I mean, like, again, maybe after a goal they might start chanting after one of the players, but I mean, they just bring a lot of energy right around goal. I mean, just especially just being loud just helps us out so much, and obviously throws their defense up quite a bit.
I saw on social media throughout the week that one of the enticements to make sure that you guys have a raucous crowd there on Friday night or tonight, since that's when Freaky Friday will be released on the podcast daily. Get some scarves. Do you have a scarf collection? You've been playing soccer your whole life. I assume you're a fan of the beautiful game. How
Yeah,
many do you have?
I have a few. Scarves are my biggest thing, so
Okay.
I don't have the biggest collection. I kind of like jerseys and
Jerseys.
some
All right.
stuff
Well,
more.
what's your jersey collection look like?
I got a few I'm a big Manchester United fan, so I gotta have a few Manchester United jerseys. Obviously, multiple USA jerseys, and I don't know. I've gotten some Italy jerseys, a few PSG warm ups jerseys. I have an Mbappe France national team jersey.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
quite
the
a bit.
confidence level for the Yanks in November?
Hopefully, pretty good. I mean, again, our qualifying went good,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can start figuring some stuff out. And I don't know, I'm just really excited. I think hopefully we can get a big upset against England. That would be amazing, especially to talk some crap to some of our English mates on the team. So
What a stretch that can be against England on Black Friday and Ohio State, a rivalry game in the Horseshoe the next day. Everybody prepare your livers accordingly, I suppose. That'll be a tough one for me to want to support the USA and then go back out and work the next day. Anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you. You grew up in Dublin, Owen.
yep.
So you're familiar with everything around here. This is also a name, image, and likeness opportunity for you. What is your favorite place to eat in the greater Columbus area?
Oh, favorite place to eat. Um, gosh, that's a tough one.
Well, because
I
now
don't
you have the
know.
training table. You don't even have to leave, right?
I know I don't have to leave. I mean, it have to be probably. I don't know. I'm a big Buckeye Donuts guy on campus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one to go to. And Hangover Easy is also. I'm a big breakfast food guy, and those are two of the best on campus. So
All right.
I give them shout out to
Well,
them.
if Buckeye Donuts isn't paying attention, Owen will just tag them tomorrow or
Yep.
make sure that you're set for Saturday morning so that you can go out, grab some of that, have a nice breakfast because it's going to be taxing. Friday at 7.
Oh,
Butler's coming.
yeah, they are coming.
All right. Congrats on the great start. Thank you so much for the time. I promise not to keep everybody too long, but want to make sure that everyone knows it. Tickets are free, parking is free, and the excitement is priceless. Ohio State Butler, it's Friday night. That's Owen Sullivan. He's the captain of the Buckeyes. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks again to another captain of the Buckeyes around campus for joining us for Freaky Friday and normalizing this show for a little bit. Now, let's get weirder because we have one more prediction to go and a final score call for Ohio State against the Dire Wolves of Arkansas State on Saturday in the Horseshoe. My third and final bold prediction is that Kyle McCord will throw for 200 yards, getting actual meaningful work in the second half. I don't believe, as Ohio State starts planning for the future and for a backup option if something were to happen to CJ Stroud, that it can afford to just waste on-field reps with its quarterback, or really anybody, but specifically the most important position on the field. They're going to need to be able to throw the football, and that also plays with what Berm was talking about earlier. And Bill, those young receivers need to get reps. They need to get action. They need to bring them along because right now Ohio State is stretched pretty thin there with Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be back. Julian Fleming is going to be healthy at some point. Cameron Bebb, once he gets a knee brace off in the coming weeks, they're going to get some of the steps back. But it's better to build it while you can. And there's really no choice because this is a game and next week against Toledo where Ohio State is a massive favorite for a reason. They should be able to maximize the opportunities for guys who are not starters, sometimes not even backups. I think I'd like to see some of those true freshmen play more than a walk-on. That's just my personal opinion on that. Berm may well be right as he tries to take away my throne. But Kyle McCord needs to throw the football. I think he will, and I think he'll do it successfully. Go Birds.
Go Birds, that's right. Prior to the Philadelphia Catholic League on full display on Saturday. I will change. I will do a change up here. Because I originally was predicting a big day for Dallin Hayden, and when I did that, I think Berm made a good point, and Austin makes a good point here too, that when the backup quarterbacks are in the game, they're probably going to want to throw the ball a little bit. So I'll change that prediction, and I will say that this is probably not going to happen, but Chip Trainum will get a rushing attempt against Arkansas
See,
State.
now you're talking. That's the type of boldness that I can get behind. That's how you become a new king. Bold.
That's right. I'm coming for the throne here. I think it will be a light work day for Trevion Henderson and Mayan Williams. The depth at that position is very concerning. And I think I know they got a little bit of a look at Chip in practice. If the game presents the opportunity to do so, I think they might want to get a look at him in a game. Nothing crazy. Maybe it's like one drive at the very end when he gets to play tailback, but he gets a carry, and we see a linebacker play a little offense on Saturday.
See, I felt like going more bold and with more walk-on boldness and saying that TC Caffey was going to score a touchdown for Ohio State, but I'm not going to say that because I was actually thinking of another one because I forgot what my third one was when we initially recorded this. But
you walked off the practice field.
It's
you walked off the practice field on Wednesday night. Hold on, and you went up and you told Perry Eliano that you needed help with a bold prediction.
Yeah, I did. And then I remember what I told him now, and this is not my bold prediction, but I said, I think we're going to see the first taste of Kai Stokes and Sonny Styles at safety in this game. And I think people are going to freak out when those two are on the field at the same time, because there's going to be an electric moment provided by one or both of those guys. I don't know if it's going to be a hit or a pick six or something, but one of those two is going to do something big, but that's not the bold prediction. The bold prediction is that Cam Martinez is going to score a touchdown in this game. How he does it, I don't know. It could be a return of interception. It could be a return of a punt or kick. I don't know. I just think that Cam Martinez is one of these guys that is going to find the ball because that's what he does. He's going to get a lot of reps on Saturday, and I think that he scores a touchdown. That's my third prediction with a little bonus on top of that.
Well, that was not drilling down.
What do you want me to drill down? Second quarter?
You said you didn't know how it was going to even happen.
No, now I do know. It's going to happen by Cam Martinez having the football in his hands and crossing that white line at the end of one side of the field. Then the official says touchdown. And then when that happens for us, it's very good. If it happens for the other team, then that's bad.
It's quite bad. Indubitably, yes. Well, sounds like Berm is predicting 1,000,000 points. Another 100-0 prediction from Berm for Ohio State to win.
Wait, is it time for score predictions? Is that
yes,
what we're
it
now?
is. Yeah.
Wow.
That didn't last nearly as long as the applause.
Well, that's the way it works.
On Monday, I tried to take a more conservative approach for those of you Americans out there who thought that I have been too reckless with my score predictions. And I said 42-0, I believe. Then I realized afterwards that that's not a cover. And I do believe strongly that Ohio State will cover in this game. So I guess I'll bump it up just slightly over the number. Don't want to be too crazy out there predicting outlandish blowouts. 45-0, I guess, will be my score. And I'll just be shamed if I'm wrong, like normal.
Yep.
One of my bold predictions for the season was that the defense is going to have 2 shutouts, and I believe I drilled down and said this was going to be one of those games. So we'll call it 63-0 for Ohio State,
brick by brick.
I love that.
That's right.
Love that.
Big old blowout.
Trying to think, in my lifetime, I think the largest Ohio State shutout win was 72-0, maybe, over Rice back in like 1995 or something. Didn't
they do that to Pitt too? That's why Mark May is a bug up his butt.
Yeah, I think that was a 70-7 game or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of points, but they were back-to-back weeks in the 1995 season against those two teams that I remember. But that 1995 team had like a Heisman Trophy winner and a Biletnikoff winner and the Outland winner and the guy who finished second in the that was stupid team. But this team's pretty stupid also, you know?
Is it?
This team is also stupid. 59-7 was the score I predicted on Monday or Tuesday's live show from Roosters. So I'm going to stick with that. I don't think that I do think the Buckeyes defense is going to get on the board a couple times. I think they will, as I said, outscore the Arkansas State Dire Wolves. And I think that we are going to see the starters, including CJ Stroud, out of this game by the end of the first quarter. And then the Buckeyes will just, coast from there.
End of the first quarter.
Yeah, I want a 42-0 game at the end of the first quarter.
Whew.
That'd be great because that means I can watch Texas play Alabama.
Yeah, and then I'll have snap judgments filed before halftime, which I don't think I've ever actually successfully executed before.
And nor should
you. I think people like it.
You sure about that? Are you sure? That's probably where we need to end this show before the infighting starts. No one wants to see that.
Sure they do. We got to give the people what they want. Oh, he's looking at his laptop. He must.
I'm doing nothing else. There's no more sound effects. I'm just trying to play around. This Freaky Friday, we have the BPs. We like to get a little loosey-goosey on Friday. That's where we're at.
We didn't even get anywhere close to the way we were for the previous version of this episode. I think Berm probably sabotaged the audio himself.
It was really bad. I mean, we had it's one of those moments where I wish we would have had a live audience because I think it would have been hilarious for a lot of people. But in some ways, I
thought we did. So, who was cheering for us when we started?
Oh, I meant when we recorded initially, not right now. We clearly have a live audience now. I just felt like it was one of those moments that there would be a segment of the viewers and listeners who are like, wow, these guys really lost the mark in this episode. So
we certainly did.
I'm glad we dialed it back. This was a much more controlled, even keeled conversation, and we're all professionals here. We're just having a good time. I said that twice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a skip or a repeat.
I thought that maybe we were getting an echo and another sound effect. Maybe next time. I don't know. I expect so much more from you. Only 2 drops. You wanted to play with these new toys, and that's all you did.
I don't want to overwhelm anyone with what we're doing here, but I also want people to know that we're trying to have fun while we do our work, because otherwise it's just work.
We do have fun, and Saturday will be as well. Ohio State against the Arkansas State Dire Wolves in the Horseshoe. Can't wait for that. Thanks for joining us on a Freaky Friday on the Podcast Daily. Thanks to Owen Sullivan for joining me. Those Buckeyes play again at 7:00 against Butler. Don't miss that one. Kick off your weekend the right way with some free soccer. Berm's favorite sport in the world. That's Bill. Berm. I'm Austin. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back on Podcast Daily on Monday.